guys, just doing a quick review for Cobra Kai season 4. I'm not sure if I reviewed it before, but I guess I'm just doing it before I watch Cobra Kai season 5. I'm gonna do a watch party on Discord, and I've kind of like recorded this like before I do it, but I'll be uploading this later, so yeah. So yeah, I watched the season like last year, and yeah, it was a pretty good season. Probably like my second favorite season. Yeah. I mean, third place season 1, last place season 3, because that season was still good, but just missing a few things that made me really like the show. And it was still cool to see some of those characters return as well in season 3. That felt more like nostalgia that season than anything, though. Yeah, they definitely focused a lot on nostalgia, even though there still was great character moments. But yeah, this season was on the level of season 2, with great fight scenes and great character moments. Probably the best with character moments, in my opinion, anyway. And just all the not really, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of some of the new characters they introduce and bringing back LaRusso's son. They just made him like a complete asshole, and I'm gonna talk about spoilers so I can get through it quicker because it's a 1 year old season anyway, so well close to 1 year old, but yeah, season five's out now, so yeah, spoilers. Because yeah, he basically goes around bullying this new kid called Kenny, and he just gets treated so badly. But even though Kenny kind of makes himself look look like an easy target, especially when he goes online and thinks he's talking to this girl who he likes at school, who sometimes talks to him. But it's actually the bullies, and then they just bully him online, and just man, all the things they do to him, it's just messed up. But he eventually joins Cobra Kai and tries to get revenge, but then he kind of goes overboard with his revenge, and yeah, that goes out of hand. Kenny is a character I'm not really a big fan of, especially with how he is throughout the show. He just seems like a, I don't want to say the word, but a pussy. I have to say it. Yeah, especially when he's trying to join Cobra Kai. Like, he's just scared of everyone. He can't even fight. But basically, Moby tries to take Kenny under his wing, tries to toughen him up, because he kind of knew his brother in prison, who he used to get bullied by. But I guess they became friends, because I guess that's how it works in prison. If you show respect for each other, then I guess you just gain respect. Because man, Kenny's brother treated him like shit in prison, but then they just became like best friends because they didn't snitch on each other. So he kind of wanted to look after his brother. So yeah, because he's in prison right now, and Kenny's having a hard time without his brother. So yeah, and the dad's like in the military or something. So he hasn't really got anyone around. He's got no friends. I mean, he's trying to make friends with that girl, but with the bullies and stuff, what they've been doing, pretending to be her online and trying to make him meet, but then to ambush him and beat him up, like so messed up. And like he puts on a whole costume, which he's just begging for it, man. But yeah, so yeah, definitely LaRusso's son's definitely in the one, and it just shows that LaRusso's family kind of became more like, well, I should say worse than Johnny in the original movie, where I don't even view Johnny as the villain anymore from the first movie anyway. And when it goes back to watching like the first movie, I don't even view Johnny as the villain at all anymore. Yeah, it's more like LaRusso, which is weird to think that. And then you got Miyagi trying to do his best to teach Daniel San the best he can, and then by the time we get to the third movie, man, he's just like someone I can't really root for. Second one is like LaRusso's definitely like a true hero. I mean, when he saves that girl in that tornado, or I can't remember what was happening, but that storm, like he was definitely a true hero in that movie, and that's why I probably like the second one more than the first one. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's my favorite one when it comes to LaRusso because it actually makes LaRusso like an actual hero. Yeah, it's just when I look back at like Karate Kid 1 and 3 and the Cobra Kai series. I don't know, just feeling more as in villain like because he's not really good as a sensei. Like he's definitely no way Miyagi. I mean he tries, but with what because they bring back a character from the third movie, Terry Silver, like he was done so well in this movie, not movie TV show in season 4, because they teased him at the end of season 3. Like oh my god, Terry Silver was like the true villain of the series. He definitely was, man. Oh my god. He's so menacing, man. I mean, he starts off as someone who's just moved on, tried to have like a normal life, but he doesn't really like his life, even though he's living a fancy life. It's not him, and that's when Kreese comes and brings him back to the Cobra Kai life, and then he kind of awakens the real Terry Silver, who's even worse than Kreese if you think about it, because Kreese he's starting to realize a lot of the flaws that he made back in the day, but Terry Silver he was always bad anyway, and Kreese just tries to use that he saved him in the war before, so that's why he kind of owes him, and that's why I don't know if that was the real reason why he came back. He really missed being in Cobra Kai because it made him feel like he had actual power, yeah, compared to what he actually already does have. But Cobra Kai kind of gave him way more power, yeah, gave him like a true purpose than just taking over his dad's company because he would have money and that's what he got, but it didn't really give him true happiness, I guess. Yeah, in the long run, anyway, because he decided to come back to Cobra Kai and be a core sensei with Kreese to try to take down Miyagi and the Ego fans, because I guess Miyagi and the Ego fans try to work together, but then I don't know, just they have like a bashing of their minds with how they do things, and some moments are funny when you just see, the Miyagi-Do trying to meditate, and then you just hear Johnny just swearing at his students. It's just that's a funny scene, yeah. And it just gets to a point where Johnny gets jealous with with LaRusso, training Miguel. It's like he's taken over his son basically. I mean, because that basically became his son. Like Johnny is Miguel's, basically his son. So I don't even know if I said that properly, but he became the new Wobby for Johnny, and he felt like he had the second chance with Miguel. So he feels like he's losing him when he's with LaRusso. And then we see things with LaRusso's daughter and Johnny. Like she's getting like a different side from being taught by Johnny, like embracing more of her, not really dark side, but because she kind of has like something that made me not like her in the previous seasons, and she kind of unleashes it with Johnny, but she tries to find a way to like, because Johnny isn't a full bad guy like how he was painted out to be in the beginning. He just kind of he tries to channel the good energy still, even though he's a bit more Cobra Kai aggressive. But it's not like Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, yeah. It's just with the how Russo's taught her as well. It's just, yeah. I mean, she's definitely a bit better in this season, but she was never really a character I was really a big fan of. But there are some moments where I do root for her. Yeah. And when she's jumping over that building, like, oh my god, because that's one of Johnny's lessons. Like she didn't want to do it, but then she tries to conquer her fear with what happened with her and Tori, which Tori like they do a lot of her character in this season, man. With what she's going through, like with her mum being sick and having to juggle multiple jobs, just keep the family together. And Kreese kind of helped her in the previous season, and now is it? How does I can't remember what else happens in the previous season, and I'm not sure if Terry really helps. Yeah, because she's definitely like more on Kreese's side than Terry. Like she doesn't really know him. I mean, no one knows him. They try to Google him and stuff to know who he really is. Like both Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai to know, about his history and what kind of sensei he would be for them. Yeah, and we start to see Kreese and Terry kind of clash a bit with how they view things and how they kind of teach as well. And it kind of sets up what's going to happen in the finale with Terry Silver betraying Kreese. Because that's what ends up happening anyway. Like it basically puts Kreese in jail because he doesn't feel like he's getting, his respect that he deserves, and he kind of views Kreese as his weakness with how he makes him feel. Yeah. And then Terry Silver kind of realizes that Kreese's weakness is Johnny, because when it gets to a point where Terry Silver goes a bit too far and tries to beat down, Johnny nearly to death, Kreese kind of stops that. He doesn't want that to happen and lets Johnny go, because basically Terry Silver's messing with Johnny's son, and he doesn't like that. So he tries to encounter Terry Silver, but then he kind of had a plan to counter Johnny, and then he beat him to death, which he also does to that fat guy who comes back. I guess I forget his name, but yeah, he was like that joke character. He finally comes back after I guess living off his sister or something, and his neighbors like they don't like him as well. Like he's a freeloader, and when he has that party and stuff, like the neighbor tries to encounter him and call the police, but then he just knocks him out. The neighbor. I mean, he does know Cobra Kai moves, but it's not true Cobra Kai material. But then Terry Silver kind of uses him to be able to join the Cobra Kai, even though he nearly beats him to death. But he blames that on, Kreese. Then Kreese goes to jail by the end. Yeah. And I guess we're going to see him in jail in the next season. And it seems like he's going to be kicking ass in jail. Hope he gets out, though. Yeah. So I can get some payback. I'd love to see that, man. Kreese is the character who's just... they've wrought him well in this new show. Because when I first watched the show for the first time, I just thought it was going to be like a full-on villain. Just the way how they write the characters on the show. It's just so good. And then like the tournament, when we got to see that, like the All Valley, yeah, that was done so well. I mean, they changed things a little bit with females not fighting with the boys. Like that's like a separate trophy that people can earn for both of their dojos. Yeah, like there'll be like a male that can win a trophy and a female that can win a trophy. Then there's all these weapon master kind of things that they need to do as well, and breaking the stuff, extra things to get on points instead of just fighting, I guess. And we do get to the fights, man, so good, man. Just seeing oh man, those fights, they're so good. Also, some of the new members, I guess, like that girl who joins the Eagle fans, like I guess she's cool. She's like a part of a debate team, but you can kind of see that she has like the energy that Johnny likes, and they kind of have like a thing in common in that way. So yeah, she kind of joins them, and she does pretty good until she gets destroyed by Tori, right? It's Tori who defeats her, right? Yeah, because Tori is just like like probably the best fighter. Even though when LaRusso's daughter gets trained by Johnny and uses both teachings from her father and Johnny, she could actually beat Tori, but because Terry Silver had a backup plan just in case Tori was gonna lose, it kind of stops LaRusso's daughter from winning because Terry Silver basically cheats for the victory, basically. Like it was all like wigged, basically. And when Tori wins, it's not actually a legit win, as we find out, like because he pays off the referee, Tori Silver, so it didn't matter. Like basically, Tori was gonna win anyway. Yeah, even though like we see moments where Tori would have actually lost by LaRusso's daughter, but yeah. And we're watching it for the second time. Yeah, I can definitely see now. And then she finds out that it was all wigged. So I guess we'll see what she does, knowing that it's all wigged, and she kind of won, even though it wasn't an actual win. Yeah. And then as for the male fighters, I guess it looks like because oh yeah, Miguel. I have to talk about him in this season because he has like a rivalry with Robbie with what he did to him, and it's the same with Robbie. Like he has a rivalry with Miguel, and we see him fight a few times. Even the girls getting involved. Yeah, that's just all over the place with the Lod quadrilateral, not love triangle. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, that's all over the place at that point. Yeah, but I guess Tori and Robbie get together. Miguel and Luso's daughter, they get together again. Yeah, and it kind of makes drama between each other. Yeah. But basically, there's also stuff with Miguel and Johnny, and Miguel feeling like he's not being appreciated by Johnny. And when it feels like Robbie's getting more care from Johnny than Miguel's getting from, Johnny, he kind of decides to, like, when it gets to a point where he gets injured in the tournament when he's fighting Hawk, oh yeah, Hawk, man, the way how he gets treated by Cobra Kai, like the shave off his head, man, so messed up, and then he just loses all of his confidence. But luckily, his girlfriend helps him get back on the horse and stuff, and his best friend. Yeah, which his best friend, like, man, he's come a long way too. Yeah, there's so many great character developments in this show, man. So good. Yeah. Then he gets back on the horse, like, we just see, the real Hawk again, instead of how it was, like, I guess when he first came into the show. Yeah, because he kind of went back to that in season 4, but then he realized that he didn't need a cool haircut to be Hawk, basically. Yeah. And he basically wins the tournament in the male division anyway, and defeats Wobby, which Wobby seems like he was owning everyone. Yeah. Also with Wobby feeling like he failed Kenny, and Kenny becoming a huge bully. Yeah, to LaRusso's son, because he kind of bullied Kenny, LaRusso's son, and he also gets expelled and everything. Yeah, like Kenny just goes like a bit too far away, he's just constantly beating him up. Like, man, I just wonder what LaRusso's son's gonna do after that. Yeah, I guess we'll see. And Robert just feels like he failed, not just a tournament, but as a sensei basically. And Johnny and Robbie kind of talk after that, and feeling like all of his hatred that he had for Miguel and his dad, he basically put it on Kenny, and he feels like he's made Kenny a monster now, and he just feels so bad. But then Johnny's there to comfort him, and Robbie and Johnny kind of bond together again, which was nice. That was a great scene. But yeah, then he finds out that Miguel's run away. Then he has to go after Miguel because he's gone to his dad, who doesn't even know that Miguel exists, which is just messed up. So we'll see how that story goes. And that's pretty much how they end the season. And, Torre Silva wins. He's going to make a franchise. We'll just see how everything goes, basically. And that's where I end it. Yeah, a great season. My second favourite. Season 2 is still my favourite, but this was a great season. But yeah, this is where I'll end the review. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.